Hey Leo, this is your bi-weekly reading. So we are looking at the period of time from, I was feeling that, where'd it go? There it is. From the new moon on December 12th in Sagittarius in tropical astrology to the full moon on December 26th. So for those of you who follow or practice or celebrate, celebrate Christmas, it'll be just after the holidays when this is taking us to. I'm feeling this top card. Okay, let's do that. So that's the period of time that we're looking at, is that waxing phase of the month, right? So we always have like an approximate 2-week period of time of every month that is waxing and building. No matter what kind of astrology is happening, we know that the moon has a pull. It has it feels like it's deeply affecting our experience here on Earth. And so we look to the moon and say, hey, like the astrology might be going this way and that, but we know that there is this undercurrent of building. And that's why people tend to plant their seeds and set their intentions and do all these things during this period of time. So we'll talk about that, right? I'm not going to get too far into the astrology in this video. I will mention a couple of things that I think going to be relevant, especially looking at your cards here and seeing like what's here. And also for those of you who have watched my videos before and have normally been here, you might have noticed it's been a little quiet around here. I had to take a couple of weeks to take a step back and really reevaluate the realistic amount of time that I have for everything on my plate through the holidays, and had to just kind of readjust my schedule in certain ways. There's just a lot going on. Some of it I can not talk to you guys about until after the holidays, so I'll illuminate as to why that was afterwards. So just so you know, I'm pausing the monthly videos, but I will be keeping the bi-weekly videos, right? So I'm pausing the monthly ones, and I'm hoping to have those back up starting around February, March. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated on that. So looking at your reading for this 2-week period of time, what we're looking at is, at least when I'm pulling these cards for the waxing phase readings, we're looking at what is the area of life that you are being guided towards to say hey, if you put your energy and attention into this area, this will be the one that ripples out and really affects all the areas of your life in the most beneficial way. So just kind of like a heads up, if you were to put some more time, energy, and attention in this area, this would really benefit you and help you. So the area of life that we have is the 6th house, right? I find it interesting that the key word that they use for the 6th house is sustainability. I mean, I guess I can see that being connected to that. So the 6th house it's one of the houses that we're going to look at. It's one of the main houses that I'm going to look at first when we're looking at health, right? So we're looking at health. I'm going to look at the 6th house, right? So 6th house is about that. It's also about pets. So that may or may not be relevant to some of you, but I feel like it's worth mentioning. And also it's about the day-to-day maintenance of things that need to happen in order for things not to go to complete shit, right? It sounds mundane and maybe a little boring, but these are the things like brushing your teeth, washing the dishes, vacuuming, or the upkeep, the maintenance for our physical bodies. And that's why health also it resides here, but also just other areas of our life, like the house, the car, whatever it is, right? So those kinds of day-to-day routines, we could call them rituals, but routines and things like that, right? I get up in the morning and then I brush my teeth and then I have my my tea or my elixir or whatever, and then I go check my email, and then whatever your schedule is, right? So that's in need of some time, energy, and attention. That's the area of life where if you were to take some time to put into that and start to build some kind of momentum in this area, would best benefit you going forward. I think it's an interesting time of the year for us to be looking at any area of our life really in review. The other thing is that with this, it's the end of the year, right? The end of the calendar year, at least. The Gregorian calendar year, and then we start with the beginning of the year. Whether you're someone who, like me, associates the beginning of the year more with the solstice, or the winter solstice, or even the spring equinox, collectively there's a calendar page turning that happens, and so we're all kind of on this same kind of wavelength, we're all brought along with it. We're planning out each quarter of the year, things like that. So the end of the year tends to be a time that can be more reflective. It's also really hectic for a lot of people because of the holidays and whatnot, but this is a time where you know, reviewing and taking stock of certain areas is really helpful. So I would say in a way, like taking stock of this area is what we're being asked to do here, right? And perhaps there's certain things about your health, or like maybe you want to change like how you're eating or how you're working out or whether you are or not, or, you know, just like getting out for more like sanity walks is what I sometimes call them, like going for a 20-minute walk, getting some fresh air outside, taking a break, or, you know, working in different ways for yourself that are beneficial to your physical health. You know, maybe it does have to do with pets if that is relevant for you, you know, but addressing how your day lines up, like what is the daily flow and the maintenance of like how you go through you know, taking care of yourself, your self-care and health methods and what those are. Especially not just because it's the end of the year, but we also, a few hours later from when this new moon hits, we have Mercury going retrograde. And yes, we're not going to hype up Mercury retrograde here. Okay. Like I'm not going to be one of those astrologers who does that. It happens. It's sometimes annoying. Sometimes it affects some of us more than others because of what's happening in our natal charts individually. However, if there's one thing that we can say about Mercury retrograde is that it gives us speed bumps, annoyingly so sometimes, to slow us down and have us take stock, to look at the fine print, to look over the contracts, to look over the plans that we have, and to maybe put those in review, maybe make some revisions, right? That's where we're revisioning, right? And so this is, I think, really appropriate for this time of the year. And then the advice that we have, the guidance that we have, right, coming through is the Two of Swords. And I see this as really speaking to tapping into your internal wisdom, right? And we might call that intuition, in order to make decisions, right? Because she's in here trying to decide between this way, this path, this way of doing it, that way of doing it, right? And this is like, there's so much water in this particular Swords card that is indicative of the going deep and the intuition that, you know, helps guide us through, right? Like when we're blindfolded and we have to tap into the rest of our senses and they kick in, sometimes we get new information, different information that helps us to guide ourselves differently. And certain other possibilities or creative ways of moving forward open up to us in a different way. And so finding the place for, like, I even love that there happens to be like this meditating person on the front of this 6th house card, and they're not exactly in the same position, but there's a similarity that exists in these two images. Is like there is this coming to a place of quiet, a place of solitude, making time and space over the next 2 weeks to find that, even if the holidays are crazy, even if it means you gotta lock yourself in the bathroom for 10 minutes and breathe and do it that way. Or, you know, when everyone goes to sleep, you take an extra 5-10 minutes to yourself, whatever it is. But this would be the most beneficial and what's showing up for you. So I hope that this feels helpful. I hope it feels insightful in some way. And if it does, please give the video a like. For those of you who are interested in the year ahead readings, I will have updated my calendar to reflect the open spots that I have. So I would say because of the holidays and because of the limited amount of time that I have, I would get in on those if you want those, especially if you're wanting to make sure that you get it in before the end of January so that it can really help with your planning for the year. And I do year ahead tarot readings, and I also do either year ahead or looking into the first like quarter or second quarter of the year with astrology. So if you're wanting to do that in any or both, I can definitely combine those. So you're welcome to book those as well. So I think that's about it. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Please share this with any friends that you're just like, oh my gosh, they should hear this. I thought of them. And because it does help with the channel. And also I really want to grow this channel. So that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.